Hello, it is Friday, March 3rd, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Friday puzzle today, so a themeless crossword. No theme, just solving. And this themeless, solve-heavy edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Henrik Koskinen, David Innes, Bradley Pirtle, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support sustaining this series and this channel. I do very much appreciate it, as I do the efforts and the contributions of all of my patrons. Thank you so much if you're among them. And if you'd like to become among them, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video, and there you can become a benefactor and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, or a patron at any level and get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And that should be the next mini puzzle speed solve today. I might not have time to do it immediately after today's puzzle, but I will do it imminently. And also a whole slate of acrostics that I solved at the last moment before they were taken offline, and those will go up. I'll sort of dole those out, I suppose. Maybe I'll try and make them last. So we'll dole those out over time. Look forward to all of that if you're a patron. And thank you to everybody who is. Please do also subscribe to the channel if you've not done so, and join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link in the description field to that as well. Nice friendly chat community. So let's get on to today's puzzle. This is another debut construction, as we had yesterday. Today's is by Eric Warren, and it was edited, as always, by Will Short. So let's see what this new constructor has in store for us on this themeless Friday. Let's start solving. A funny joke. Boy, that is open-ended, isn't it? It's roomy in a courtroom. It's roomy in a courtroom. A robe? As in a judge wearing a robe? It's sort of a roomy, airy garment. Funny joke. A rib splitter? No, okay. I think that is a funny joke, but it doesn't quite fit. Work done in the trenches. And Bud's place, perhaps. A flower bed, maybe? I'm wondering if there's a punny meaning to this. Unproven skill, briefly. ESP, extrasensory perception, which is, famously not been demonstrated to be statistically kind of repeatable and true. All right, summer treats could be aids, maybe, like lemonades and so on. Is that what that is? Caller's signal. Caller's signal, a ring, a knock, a rap on the door. I'm not sure what this is looking for. 2022 Kate Blanchett drama, the film Tar, which I really enjoyed. Thought was great. Funny joke. Still not sure. Work done in the trenches. Bud's place. Oh, maybe a Budweiser beer garden, beer. Okay, I may have to look around here and just keep finding more entry points. Execs who may issue quarterly statements. Maybe a CFO, a chief financial officer, because they issue quarterly financial statements on behalf of their company. Circus covering, a big tent to sort of, or maybe covering clown makeup. Does that fit? It does fit. I wonder if there's any chance that's the answer. Gambler's point spread. Oh, what's that called? That's annoying that I can't think of what this is. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's a term I don't know. Great white shark's only known predator. Is it the orca? It's very interesting. Rears. Your rear end, your seat. Okay, boy, I think clown makeup was a great find. And I still can't think of the gambler's point spread, strangely enough. Ones with a burning passion. Fire, what? Fire lovers? Is that a term? Maybe I don't know this term. Or maybe fire lovers is wrong. I don't know. How many 1970s and 1980s movies were released on cassette tape? That's certainly an increasingly dated term, so on video cassette. And then a gambler's point spread is the line. Okay, maybe I didn't know that term, or maybe I just have only heard it on occasion. To show nerve, say, is to sweat. And the say means it's an example of that thing rather than a synonym of it. So sweating isn't intrinsically showing nerves, but often, if one sweats, it could be because you're showing nerves. So it's showing nerves, say. It's an example of what might happen there. Something squares lack. Oh, squares. Right. So I do have something wrong. Maybe this isn't. Maybe it's fire lover. Fire lover is probably wrong. That doesn't really seem like necessarily a term. Something squares lack. Somethingness, it seems to be the case. Oh, fire eaters, maybe? Like at a circus? Okay, something squares lack. What do they lack? Hipness? If a square in the social sense, someone who's sort of a nerd, a square, they're not very hip. To expel is to spew, maybe, some material or information, I guess. They help you see the big picture. Cinemas. Obviously, you see a movie on a big screen. Very clear as some images. They're in HD, maybe, in high definition. And a metaphorical throwaway dishwater. Or bathwater, actually. You could throw the baby out with the bathwater, which is the metaphorical throwaway. That's better than dishwasher because that's actually used in the idiom. The R of J.R. Ewing on Dallas, right. So I know that Who Shot J.R. was the sort of famous cliffhanger in Dallas, but I've never seen an episode of Dallas, and I don't actually know what J.R. Ewing's full name was. Ross or, I don't know. Regimen with so-called fat bombs, right. Okay, maybe it is Ross because that could be keto, the keto diet, I presume. I'm not sure what the fat bombs are, but I know it's a diet where you eat mainly sort of protein and fat and vegetable matter and absolutely no carbs. Classic mint brand. Oh, Certs is a classic mint brand. Maybe this name was Ross. That was a lucky guess on my part. Philanthropists have causes. Philanthropics are charitable causes to which they donate. And capital city near Curacao is Caracas, Venezuela, probably. That would make sense geographically, I think. Gefilte fish. So gefilte fish is like white fish. So carp, I guess it could be. Jewish cuisine. And food factory worker. A canner. Sorry, for some reason I read food factory worker and just thought, I just deleted the food part and thought factory worker and then thought car factory. And no real reason for that mental leap, but it was wrong for a moment there. Anyway, a canner, of course, works in a food factory. Queeg's ship in a 1954 film. I don't think I know this. What about this? Primary scheme. Plan A. There we go. Oops. And Lao meat salad. Is it larb? Larb is a meat salad. So I think that's the answer. Mind matter. Brain cells? There we go. All right, it's interesting how much better this sort of vertical or horizontal swath of the puzzle has been going than where I started. I guess it is actually sort of vertical. I guess I'm doing kind of the eastern hemisphere of the grid. The cane? HMS Cane or something? I've never actually seen whatever this film is, but it's it must be vaguely aware of it. Is this actually the answer? Topping for San Diego style fries. Right, okay, I grew up in San Diego. I don't remember these fries. I mean, carne asada is a big sort of taco filling in San Diego, definitely. Strangely enough, I'm not familiar with San Diego style fries. But I did eat a lot of carne asada growing up, that is for sure. At just sort of little hole-in-the-wall taquerias, which are everywhere in San Diego, and they're great. Email letters, BCC, blind carbon copy, and register domain names like google.com and google.com, e.g. Cyber squat, right? Okay, so that's the that's the practice of buying a domain name that you think somebody else might want or need for commercial reasons, and hoping that they will offer you large sums of money for it. Abbreviation on a lawyer's business card is Esquire, and color of the sky in Germany, blau for blue. I may be somewhat mispronouncing that. Apologies if so. Senator Vinnick's portrayer on the West Wing. I don't really remember this, but must be Alan Alda based on the crosses. And the Orioles on scoreboards are the Baltimore team, so ball for Baltimore, I think. And then pre-bar hurdle in brief, so this refers to bar in the legal sense, and the LSAT, the law school admissions test, I think that stands for. I think I used to assume it was something more like an achievement test or something like that, but I think someone informed me here. It's just law school admissions test. It's as simple as that, and I think that's what it is. Okay, let go ceded, maybe? Let go of land, maybe? In the past? I don't know if that's right. Let's check the crosses. Protection for some hikers. Oh, bear spray. Right, yeah, that is a thing. And desktop organizer, a caddy for pens and things, perhaps. You could have a caddy to store little things on a desk, I suppose. And some baking discards. Not starters, like sourdough starters. What is this? Something item? No. That wouldn't, the M wouldn't work after D. Maybe caddy is wrong. Apologies. I'm sorry, presumably. That's straightforward, hopefully. Michael of Paper Heart. Is it Michael Sarah? I don't think I know Paper Heart. And nincompoops are probably something heads. Wait, what did I think wasn't working? Sorry. I thought there was something that looked less likely, but everything seems to be working out. Sorry, I must have misinterpreted something. Nincompoops. Anyway, lunkheads or something like that. Perfect. Oh, no, it could be perfect as a verb. To perfect is to hone your skills, but not to hone in on. That's to home in on is what you're looking for there. Like a homing missile or a homing pigeon or something. Hone is to improve or perfect. Swords used by Leonardo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons. It must be katanas. Would make sense in a cartoon context, a kind of ninja sword. Blank Hassan, Indian megastar in over 200 films. Not sure. Divert, not sure about that either. BMW mark, Mini. BMW is responsible for manufacturing mini cars at this point, I think. Oh, maybe Kamal. And like balsamic vinegar, an acid? Why balsamic in particular? I mean, any vinegar would be an acid. Stories that may or may not be true. Well, if they're, again, I'm thinking with Kamal, I'm wondering if it's lies, but lies are certainly not true by definition. I wonder if it means stories of a house that are not level, perhaps? There seems, I don't know what that would be in only 4 letters. Seems less likely. Hasta luego. Something adios. Oh, no. Oh, maybe I'm sorry is so sorry. And this could be adios amigo. Right. Okay, so that's sort of unusual to use a fully Spanish phrase to refer to another Spanish phrase instead of, say, an English translation. But there we go. Works perfectly well. Divert. Well, divert could be to sort of change the course of something, but it's also used to mean to amuse you, to divert your attention. It's a diversion, an amusement. Professional at pulling strings. A harpist or, piano tuner. Right, okay, so I was on the right track by thinking of instruments, but in this case, someone who tunes a piano, the long strings of a piano. Nincompoops. So it's not lunkheads. It's... I'm still not sure. Bent, bias? Yeah, because it could be a noun, actually. Bent could be a noun. You have a particular bent. You have a particular bias. Pindar, for one, an odist. Right. So a practitioner of the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword, the ode. And ball player known as the Georgia's Peach. Is it Cobb, Ty Cobb? I don't know that nickname, but I've heard of Ty Cobb, a famous baseball player. Oh, boneheads or nincompoops. Okay, I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but that's okay. Throws away. Tosses aside. There we go. And balsamic vinegar is aged. That's what differentiates it from other vinegars, or one of the things anyway. It is an aged vinegar. And this does look like Kamal to me. And stories that may or may not be true are lore. That makes sense because it's sort of oral history. And some of it certainly does derive from history, and some just is invention. All right, choice chickens, capons. That is one of those terms for particular, certain implications about a particular chicken you would, for the purpose of preparing it in a culinary context, but I don't remember exactly what defines it. Is it a sort of young male chicken or something? I can't remember. Streaked is tore. If you tore, in a running sense, he was absolutely streaking through, tearing through. Leading, in front, as a result of tearing through a place. Tools that are hollow inside. Tools that are hollow inside. I'm not sure. And Kevin of Bob's Burgers. I have seen Bob's Burgers, but I don't know who this is, I don't think. I don't think I know really specific actors' names from that show. Extend in a way. Well, I'm not sure about that either. Okay, I finally have to contend with my bane, this frustrating northwest corner of the grid. Work done in the, at least I have a few more letters now. Work done in the trenches. Odd and even. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a phrase that would fit in here. It's not helpful, is it? Tools that are hollow inside. Edgers? An edger is a tool, but no, it's certainly not the answer because, oh, right, beer, what is this? It has an F now. Oh, and I spelled in front incorrectly. Bud's place, perhaps. Beer fridge? An entire fridge for your beer, I guess you could have. Some baking disco. Egg whites. There we go. That was, okay, good. This in front was the key to unlocking. I 100% never would have gotten to beer fridge without that F there. I mean, I just can't. Or other crossed letters, of course. Work done in the trenches. And, Sazerac component. A Sazerac cocktail, so rye. Rye whiskey. Don't think I even looked at that clue. That was a mistake. Funny joke. Raw. What was this again? Caller's signal. A step? I don't know what that means exactly. I don't think that's right. Beep? Oh, a beep. Like on a phone or a doorbell or something? No, that doesn't work either. What am I failing to see here that should be very obvious? Oh, to extend a subscription, for instance. So extend in a way. So in this way, you'd be extending a subscription. You'd renew it. Oh, the Comstock lode is an 1850s discovery. Was it gold or something? Comstock lode. That was a West Coast mining find, I think, but I think that's, I don't remember exactly what it is, though. Okay, was Kevin Kline in Bob's Burgers? Maybe. A something tickler? Oh, rib tickler. Oh, right. This isn't AIDS, it's ices. That makes more sense. That's more of a treat than AIDS. So AIDS being sort of lemonade or limeade, I mean. Summer treats could be ices. Ice, like shaved ice, for instance. So a funny joke is a rib tickler. What did I say? A rib splitter? That's so funny. I was weirdly close and I didn't realize it. Caller's signal is a beep, I suppose, and work done in the trenches is oceanology, right? The trenches in a sort of marine geology sense, so like the Marianas Trench. And then tools that are hollow inside are corers, right? Of course, they have to be hollow inside because they hollow out they carve out the core of the apple or whatever else. And there we go. That was the Friday crossword. Very, very nice themeless puzzle. That gave me some trouble, but I don't think was ever unfair. I really had to keep at it the entire time. I was never really given a break, but it never was. I guess up here I did have to move on initially, but when I came back, even just getting that one, gave me enough to build on, and then fortunately correct a mistake or two. Yeah, a really nice debut puzzle, a very nice themeless construction. Very well put together, and I'll have to look up San Diego style fries, which I surprisingly don't seem to recognize. Yeah, that's funny. And Cyber Squad, I bet that's the first time that's been in the New York Times crossword. There might be a few first times. I wouldn't be surprised if Beer Fridge were as well. Who knows? In any case, very nice themeless puzzle by Eric Warren. Enjoyed that debut. Hope you did as well. Let me know how you fared with this one difficulty-wise. This one could have been, I think, all over the place in terms of difficulty, depending on maybe some of your existing knowledge. But I don't know. It was well crossed. And that was that. I don't have time, unfortunately, today for the clues from yesterday's puzzle. I'll try and get back to that tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining me on today's edition of the Daily Solve, and I'll be back for another themeless crossword, another tricky solve tomorrow with the Saturday puzzle. Please do join me for that. But until then, have an excellent remainder of your Friday. Take care.